Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Dimitri Johnson, and you're listening to MMALatestNews.com.
It's time to roll, baby.
Not really. Not too much working from home. It's a bit of a weird time at the moment, isn't it?
Crazy, yeah. Is my video working?
It is. It is fine. It's
Yeah.
a little shaky, but other than that, it's fine. But
Yeah, no, it's weird, very weird at the minute, but yeah,
I was thinking,
dodgy times.
it was only a month ago. You was in getting ready for the Bowlers Exhibition Centre at Cage Warriors Manchester. 4 weeks ago today.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I've lost track of time. It's mad.
But you think what's happened since then and where we are at the moment today? It's crazy.
Yeah, who'd have thought it? I was that's what I was saying to I think my family was saying like winning that fight, and then you think 4 weeks later you're going to be here. Or it was 2 weeks or whatever I said, and now we're here. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah, it's crazy. Obviously, that was the first event in Manchester. Then we had the Cage Warriors London got moved up to Manchester as well, which had no fans. It was Paddy Pimblett was on that card, of course. So that was interesting to see.
Yeah, I was actually at that. I was at the Manchester card, the London Manchester card, because we had Jake Bond on there, and that was weird as well. Just seeing the arena that night compared to how it was, the night when we fought.
Just a week beforehand or 2 weeks beforehand. When he had
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? But it's you just got to try and take as many positives out of everything as you can, haven't you? And don't let it get you down.
Definitely. I think everyone's got that same mentality. Everyone that's spoken to so far has got that, that fighter's mentality of we're at this hurdle, but we just go through it and see where we are at the other end and take the positives out of it.
Well, I think if you can make things work during these times, and when you get, when it does even out and get a bit easier, then you're going to be on a good footing or something like that. I mean, I'm guessing, because I've never been through anything similar to this.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing if you stay positive, something good must come of it.
Definitely, I think, with everyone socially distancing, it's going to be difficult this weekend with the weather picking up, and this week the weather's meant to be pretty good, so it depends on how many people sort of stick to those guidelines at the moment. And I think we're looking at probably end of May, maybe May, June-ish time, when everything could be somewhat back to normal. That's it. It's all guesswork, I suppose, isn't it? I think it's the unknown of it all. I think if you knew you had the time to go for it, and you'd be like, we're going to be back at this point, then you'd be all right, wouldn't you? But it's just a complete unknown. Well, it's like being told to prepare for a fight, but you haven't been given a date of when you're fighting, so you're almost always guessing.
Yeah, but there's literally nothing to prepare for now. Like it's mad. Like you were. I mean, I bought a house last year, like the end of last year, but needed a lot of work doing to it. So I delayed the work getting done on it until after my fight. But I mean, weirdly, I've got more time on my hands to start to help with the house now. So I've basically just become like a full-time labourer on my own house, but you can't get all the supplies, like chasing around. Companies are ever shut down, so you're having to go to it's like a black market of goods, just trying to get hold of like a piece of gutter or like roofing tiles or something. You're like, have you got any of these? It's just nuts. Yeah,
it's crazy how everything has come to a standstill. I think, looking back at that Cage Warriors event, I think that was maybe the last, definitely a last live mixed martial arts event that has happened.
Yeah. Well, did they have the UFC on that night as well?
No, I think UFC was week beforehand. We've not had a UFC card since, I don't think. So
it's nuts. It's like no crazy football or anything. Like, what I haven't been able to. I mean, I know a lot of people are big football fans, but I am, and I've been sat usually on a weekend. I have at least like 5 or 6 hours of football.
Yeah, your soccer Saturday, Super Sunday, Monday night football.
Yeah, that's it. I try and get my fair share of it in, but I none of it. It's nuts. It's not nowhere else to put it. It's crazy times.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if they do eventually give us that date of this is when things are going to be changing back to maybe social distancing is a little bit less restricted. If they give us that date, then at least something we've got to just
work towards then.
Yeah. I think it's especially. I know a lot of people that I'm around, and me myself, I struggle with being told what to do, but obviously I like to see the importance of it all. And I think it's like, for me, it's just worried about older people and the vulnerable, and I think that as long as they're all right, I'd happily take the flu, but it's just vulnerable people. You just got to watch out for them, haven't you?
Definitely, I guess. Also, well, I think pubs and gyms were the first to close, weren't they? I believe as well.
Yeah.
So obviously, the sort of world we're in, there's a lot more options for things to be transferred, I guess, as well. So it has got its dangers in that sense, even though you're probably at the good end of being an elite athlete. Sorry, can't speak.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'd back myself to take it on. But I actually had, weirdly, this year, I had the worst. I've never had flu before. I don't know what flu I'd actually had, but it was just a flu. And I'd just come back from Italy in January. And I swear down, I've never been this ill in my entire life. I thought, like, I was laid down that much. Like, my whole side of my arm was just numb. Like, my side of my body was just numb. And I've never been like that before in my life.
But we were saying in the office, we did a 24-hour podcast back in December, and everyone like got ill for like 2 weeks afterwards. I was wondering if something was going around then, but obviously we didn't know what it was at that point, or if it was that. But it's only in the last 2 weeks you think, oh, have we already had it, or is?
So that's it. You just don't. That's what I mean. I was joking about it to start with, but I said, if you know anyone with corona, get them to cough on me like straight after my fight, so I can get it out of the way. But obviously, you just don't know if you've had it. 'Cause, I mean, Italy's a hot spot for it, isn't it? But could have. But you just be making things up, wouldn't you, until you have a test, I suppose.
Definitely, it's like things going around coughing or waking up with a bit of a sinus problem, you're sneezing, and you're just wondering if you got it now or not. Just praying.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people who have been at the start of it were getting sent home from work or not allowed to go in because of whatever reason. But I know a lot of people who live in London as well, and they've obviously had a big hit of it. So if you've seemingly got a cold down there, you just stay at home. It's they just assume that they've got it.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like regionally. Obviously, I've seen bits here and there on Twitter, and London seemed to slowly be calming down. Obviously, where they're being the capital, they're always busy 24/7. So it's probably more difficult for them to slow down anyway. But, round here, Manchester and Salford seem to be doing it pretty well at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's mad how easily people have took to being told what to do. It's a bit. Usually, I see the British as a bit. Obviously, we do our duty and we'll do our thing, but I usually see the British as being a bit like rebellious and a bit
stiff upper lip.
We're not. Well, we're not. It's difficult. We usually make good decisions ourselves, like as a nation. Usually, we're not. It's not stupid. We're not stupid. Usually, people would make sensible decisions to stay indoors and all this type of stuff, but to stay out of large groups. So yeah, I was just surprised that people took to being told to stay in so much.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I remember we spoke at the end of Cage Warriors Manchester. You said you had a couple injuries going into that fight, I believe. So I guess this is a good time for you to heal up, and all fighters to heal up, I guess, and take it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but there's positives to it. I had some of the worst like nerve pain in my back, like in the weeks up to the fight. And I got through the fight. Like when you're in the fight, you don't feel it, but like after I beat it, took me a good week to get over that pain. But it's still there now. So yeah, I suppose just taking this time to get healed up. Got a sore elbow. I had loads of stuff that I just needed to rest up in that. But when you're in fight camp, you just kind of get through things and just group on. Yeah, it's been an eye opener though. Like, so this time it's different, and it's probably something you'll always be able to talk about, isn't it? That you live through it or just take lessons from it.
Definitely, it's going to be interesting once you get that first session back in. What the sort of aura of the gym's going to be like once you get that first session back.
Well, I just want to be. I want to. I mean, you just don't know when you're going to fight again. But I think everyone's going to need. It's not just when the gym's open, when the fights can start. It's going to be when people can get fight camps in, and so like everyone's going to want at least 3 months to prepare to get back into shape and back sharp. So it's I suppose you just got to stay as fit and healthy as you can during these times, and then you can be the quickest out of the blocks, I suppose, when we're all allowed to train.
Definitely. I know I was speaking to Brendan earlier. I was saying you could use 12 weeks to almost tick over or whatnot and keep the fitness at a level where if you do get called up and say, oh, there's a fight card in 2 weeks, do you want it? You can take it. Whereas if you take 12 weeks off, you might have to turn that decision down and then go for the next one, which you don't know when that will be.
Well, that's it. I think a lot of people, obviously, in a bit more of a rush than me in their careers, because a bit older. Like, I think like it's a long time to waste out your career. Potentially 6 to 8 months. It could be.
It's 2 or 3 fights for some people.
Yeah, that's it. Like last year, I had 4. It should have been 5. So that for me, it'd have been my first fight was in March. I'd have had missed 3 fights last year because of it, essentially. So I mean, it's not the end of the world, though, is it? There's a lot of people going for a lot worse than missing fights or whatever. It's just trying to get money in is the biggest thing. I suppose fighters, if this is all you do, or
true,
you're probably struggling a little bit. But it's like I said, there's bigger things to it than fighting, isn't there?
Definitely, there's definitely some more serious things. But yeah, as you say, your sort of role, your payday is that fight day as well at the same time. It's not you get paid on a monthly basis or whatnot.
I mean, a lot of fighters, it depends if it's a full-time job or whatever. If a lot of fighters they might have a part-time job or do something during the day and train at night. So, but then again, they're looking for, if they ain't got a job, they're looking for something off the government or something like that. But I suppose it's a bit difficult getting a payout as a fighter because your wage isn't set. Which I don't know. Probably not best off taking tax advice off me or anything or how the best to tackle it.
No, definitely. I think the sporting side of things, as minimal as it is, it's going to be weird once we see all the sporting come back together and see what happens. Obviously, we've had government asking Premier League players to take pay cuts and whatnot to help. So there's a lot of eyes on the sporting world at the moment in terms of what they're going to do. Obviously, the Premier League, as we've said, there's a lot of talk about when that's going to return, if it's going to return, whatnot. And things like that. Yeah,
I'm a Leeds fan, so this was the year I was expecting us to, go up obviously top of the league, and then this comes to it. But there's ways to fix it, like getting rid of a couple of the cup competitions next year, playing out the league to an end, and then have a couple of a month off or something because there's no Euros. Just make sure the leagues are played out because they're the most important, aren't they?
Yes, it's true. I'd also look at World Cup in 2022 is in November, December, isn't it? So that could almost be like your pre-season. If you can work out that season and then track back. So this next season could probably start in, say, October. If you can get this last bit of the season done, probably by June, July, you would get them 4 or 5 weeks off and start in October. And then do two seasons to work in with the World Cup and then go back to normal, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard somebody say something interesting. It was one of the guys from the Elite United podcast was saying, I think the best route to do it is the one where there's the least legal challenges. He's going to be, I think, where football will end up going because whatever's the least costly for the legal costs, it's definitely going to be that route.
Yeah, I think, as much as it has to be finished because, as you say, if they voided the season this season and said it doesn't count, Leeds were probably going to come up this year, and that's a lot of money for Leeds.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then you could. Yeah, there's loads of things that come off it, like players that have a lawsuit because of what they should have earned, because it's in their contracts. If
that's true, actually.
So it's just I think, and then you can't just say to Norwich because they're bottom of the league that you would have gotten relegated because I
obviously they'd say we were going to win our next 6 matches and stay up. So it's just crazy, isn't it?
It is.
Who would have thought this?
I know. We was all, well, I said, I don't know if you were as a Leeds fan, but, United fans a couple of weeks ago going, oh, imagine if this stops Liverpool winning the league after everything they've been through. And, it potentially could, but I think 2 months will be back, probably.
Well, yeah, you hope so. I think, like, the way it's gone in China where you just don't know what to believe from China, from the government, I suppose. So you're just kind of guessing, aren't you, where they're going to end up. But I think they're saying that it's 3 months rubbish, 3 months, and then after that it gets a bit better for another 3 months, or something like that. So I mean, it's still a long time, and it's 6 months of. I think it's just being sensible as well. Is it sensible to have at Old Trafford 80,000 people? It's probably just not sensible, is it? But a lot of people have saved up their entire wage to buy that season ticket, so then it's unfair on them. You'd have to put it on free-to-air TV because it's unfair to then say, then now you've got to pay for a Sky subscription to watch a match you would be at. There's just... But then I think a lot of fighters are being released from the UFC as well, aren't they? I think the UFC probably used it as a bit of a... I think just from what I read, I think there was a few people I don't know how many it was, but I know a few names I saw got released, which probably is a bit harsh, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit harsh, especially coming up to this time period as well. It's harsh.
But I suppose they've got a business to run, haven't they? And if you want to see these businesses after the crisis, then they've just got to make the decision for themselves, haven't they? I think that's what everyone's looking after themselves at the minute. Yeah,
it's true. I think they've got like 200-300 fighters on their roster as well. They've got outside the rankings and whatnot, they've got an incredible amount of fighters. So I guess they have to do their own sort of cost cutting as well.
I suppose they've all got medical cover as well. So maybe going through this time, it's probably good to have that medical cover from them. Probably some of the best in the world they'll get. So maybe it's kind of they're well looked after, aren't they, in the UFC?
Definitely. Do you think UFC 249 goes ahead? Obviously, we've had Khabib drop out. Well, I say drop out. It's not his fault, but
I don't see how you can. How is anyone going to train for it? Because everyone being locked down. It just seems a bit silly if they do it. But because if I was fighting on it, I'd be thinking, I've just shadowboxed in my bedroom for the past 2 months. Like, I'm not going to get in a fight. I don't see how it works.
And then you got to work out your weight cutting process as well. So that week it just doesn't work because you're going to ruin your immune system anyway at the most vital time.
Yeah. You just don't. It just doesn't make sense, does it? I think when Cage Warriors did it made sense because it was the last show before it was locked down. But then there was nobody there. But now they've had how long would it be? 6 weeks. Since,
by then. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, so by then. It just don't seem to work, does it? It's a bit silly.
Yeah, and, the locations are dropping, the potential locations are dropping. So I think Florida got a 30-day no contest or no sporting ban anyway, so they can't have it there. So it's really looking bleak, and there's the human element and there's the fan element. Because obviously it'll be the first sporting event or live sporting event in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But obviously you have to take the human element and say these are people, these are fighters. They're not just people through our entertainment almost.
That's it. Yeah. And there is that argument. There's always going to be that argument. I think that was the one that come up for Cage Warriors. But if you asked any of them fighters whether they wanted to be there, I think the question obviously should get asked to the staff and the fighters. Do you want to be there? Do you want to take the risk? And if I can pretty much guarantee all them fighters would have said yeah. Especially to the audience that Cage Warriors had as well. I think it was the highest. I haven't actually seen the figures, but I'm pretty sure it was plus 10 million on the night or something like that. I mean, you probably know more than me.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
I think it was very, very high. I saw Graham Boylan's tweet, so I mean, all fighters will love that, especially if you get a win on that in front of that crowd.
That's true. It can set you up.
Yeah.
It can set you up.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you go into. You're talking to sponsors saying, well, I'll fight in front of 15 million people.
No, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the good thing about Cage Warriors is that it's on the UFC Fight Pass, so you
Yeah.
have got that already, almost that connection with the UFC there and that fan base as well.
Yeah. I think the people definitely from businesses I speak to and stuff, that a lot of people take the UFC Fight Pass as a serious thing. So obviously it's massive. Got so many subscribers worldwide. So obviously it's a massive platform.
Definitely. So, I guess what's been your routine at the moment? Have you got any sort of quarantine tips for anyone out there that are looking to continue?
I think just keep busy. Like, I mean, how busy you can be. I've seen a lot of people doing like home improvements and stuff, and like, well, for me, I'm doing up a house is being ripped back to brick, so I'm getting up at 6:30 every morning, and I'm not getting on till 5:30 at night working on the house. So I suppose I'm doing something. But yeah, just exercise as well, even if it is give yourself a target. Doing like leg raises or something. Say you do 20 tonight, do 30 tomorrow, 40 the day after. Just do it all the way to 100, and then if at least you're giving yourself a target and you're improving every day at something. It's tough though, because a lot of people will never have spent this much time indoors. So I mean, what do you do?
It does. It goes against everything we've almost become accustomed to in terms of, we probably spend an hour. Well, I say if you get home at 6, 7 at night, you might spend 6 hours at home when you're not sleeping anyway. The rest of the day is spent outside.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah, it's I mean, even walking to work, getting the bus to work, getting the train, whatever you do, at least you're out and about and you're speaking to people, socialising with people at work, socialising with people anywhere. I mean, I think that's it. Just your social interactions in a day keep your mind active.
Definitely.
But yeah, a lot of people have lost all that, haven't they? But yeah, I think just like I said, just stay, maybe eat healthy, try and give yourself a target with some exercises. I'd just say like increase how many squats you do in a day by 10 to the next day, and then maybe by the end of this, you're doing like 400 squats a day, and and it's easy work.
Yeah, that would be impressive. I bought a guitar the other day, so I'm going to try and learn that over the period that we have.
That's a useful one. I think something like that, or like what else can people do in their houses? Like there's just not much, is there? I mean, playing Xbox, PlayStation, that's just...
Yeah, I think the amount of YouTubers and streamers at the moment will skyrocket over the next couple of months anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen numbers for some stuff that's pretty crap are on a few 100,000 views already, and you think that would never happen.
You're starting TikTok accounts soon.
Oh, yeah, I've seen a lot of people doing that. I'm not... For some reason, that just don't really do much for me. That I don't think I'd want to be on there.
It's not my desired platform either, so it's okay.
No, I don't know what have you seen anyone else is doing that's pretty good.
I don't know. I guess everyone's doing home workouts at the moment, which is helpful anyway. I guess depending on who it is. Everyone wants to be a personal trainer at the moment. That's
true. Yeah. And I've got to see a lot of people doing some terrible stuff online as well. But some of them are pretty good, and I thought, so I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to workouts. Like, I want to, if it's not amazing, it's not the pinnacle of it, I don't see, like, for me, not talking for anyone else, but I don't see the point in doing it. Or I struggle to see the point. But I've seen some of these workouts, like that some gyms are putting up in personal trainers, and they're actually pretty tough. So they at least they give you something to do. But usually I'm a bit of a snob with it. I just think, well, that's not what I would usually do. That's not what's best for me. Why would I do it? So I'm having to get out of that kind of mindset.
Yeah, it does make a huge difference on the environment, because obviously, well, I was going to the gym quite often, And obviously that environment there, you turn up at the gym, you put your music on, and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're at home, it's almost more, there's a leniency toward your training because obviously you're stuck in your own room all day.
Yeah.
But even to get like 20, 30 minutes out, you can do quite a lot. Or I've got a little fitness mat, I've got some like 1 kg dumbbells and whatnot. So you can do bits and pieces here and there and keep ticking over.
I think just keep, like I say, I think being like that, being able to go for a walk in a day, all that stuff. I've seen loads of people out running now as well. Like my house is just outside Manchester, but I'm living in a flat in Ancoats at the minute. Where my house has been done, and I can't even tell you how many people are out running. It's hundreds and hundreds of people. Every street has got somebody running on it. So obviously people are using that as a thing to do.
And the weather's picking up as well, so at least it's not raining. If it was raining, I think it'd be a little bit more worse. But,
Yeah. It's mad, like, even chatting like this, you think there's not actually much going on, is there? It's like you think usually at a time, say if we had chatted a month ago, we'd have had, there'd been so much going on. There'd have been questions like, so what's your next fight? And then you're like, nobody knows, is there? Like, I think it's mad though this year. I thought there was going to be some big opportunities come up, like, obviously you'd have had that Matthias Fredericks fight in April, and anything could have happened there, as in his opponent might not have been there. I'm just fresh off a fight. I'd have been happy to jump in.
Yeah, true. You had a very impressive first round armbar finish, so it wasn't like you was in there the whole time either.
No, that's what I mean. I was fresh. I was ready to come. I was ready to go straight in. So I was just keeping my eye out for any opportunities that come up. And now that's gone. So now you're thinking, what else you got?
London's in June, isn't it? I think London was it? June.
Yeah. I think
wasn't it?
There's still struggle to get that one potentially. I mean, I don't want to jinx it or anything, but it's still like I think there's still, potential for it not to happen because of the I mean, it won't be a lockdown, but it's whether they're going to do mass gatherings.
Definitely, I think. And anyway, you'd have to be told probably in like 3 or 4 weeks that this card's happening or not. Anyway, so then you got whole of you got May and then a week of June or 2 weeks of June. Yeah,
so I mean, there's just not a lot going on. Usually, I've not even got too many stories either. Like, there's always something funny happening day to day at the gym or whatever, out and about. But I haven't really got too much funny stuff. There's a lot of memes going around though at the minute, which is keeping everyone quite entertained, I think.
Yeah, our boss put in the group chat today. 2 parents have caught their twins COVID and Corona. From that's on Sky News.
And that was actually on Sky News.
Yeah, that was Sky News, so that's actually legit. So.
Oh my god. I mean, I don't know if it's a brave one or I don't know. Maybe they just want to remember it at the time.
that was their quote, but it's crazy. It's a crazy time.
Yeah, I think like people are like genuinely losing it though. Like some stuff. Everyone's depends where you fall, how you see it. You see the lockdown stuff. People, I don't know. Weirdly as well, people seem to be like very united around it. Like whereas before, most people were obviously had different opinions on whatever it was, politics, sports, everything. Now everyone's just in the same boat. I think it's kind of really a bit uniting, is it? But I just can't see that lasting for very long.
We're 2 weeks in now. I think we hit the 2 week point today. So it depends on what happens. If we do another 2 weeks and it's probably the same, it'd be interesting to see what happens then. Yeah,
I think there's a point where people do just start just proper losing it, and so I think we want to. That's why they delayed it as much as possible. I think to try and get most people buying into what they were doing. So I suppose it's worked in that sense. But how long they can keep it going?
Definitely.
Yeah, mad.
It is mad, but let's hope and pray that in 2 and 3 months everything's somewhat back to normal. We're all doing our daily regimes again. Everyone's getting ready for fights, because there's gonna be some super cards coming up over those last 6
Yeah.
months with everyone that needs fights and the
Yeah,
organisations.
I think that they've got to get all the contracted guys fights, haven't they? Basically, everyone's got to get their contracted guys in fights, and obviously people want to make up for the money that they've not earned over the past however long. But yeah, maybe you'll get way more energy as well, because the guys will have been rested and maybe rested in their heads as well from the sparring and the fights. Maybe it could do everyone some good.
Yeah, and probably from a fan side, you're probably going to get a load more support anyway, because no one would have seen any sport for 3 or 4 months. So everyone's going to be wanting to tune into that first one.
Yeah, and people have seen from YouTube, they've managed to get into athletes, like the stories and stuff, instead of actually seeing them fight. Maybe they've been looking at stuff on YouTube, podcasts, all that type of stuff, and they've managed to maybe build some fans that way. And then I don't know. Maybe like you say, content creators will be dragging fighters in and getting them not in, but they'll be doing videos with them and trying to get some good stuff out there. I've seen loads of stuff. I sat and watched basically all of Mayweather's fights from literally every single fight the other day, because they all got uploaded on YouTube as like a rewind. So I mean, there'll be loads of that stuff going on, though, won't there?
Yeah, you can. BT Sport doing 2 UFC pay-per-views per day at the moment.
Yeah.
From about 9 p.m. So it started from I think it was UFC 163, and they've just come up to UFC 184, 185 this weekend.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. They're trying to stop people cancelling the subscriptions, aren't they? Everyone's they've got to put out content.
Especially them, because obviously they've got no UFC, no BT, no football. They've got there is no live sport going on. There's WrestleMania this weekend, which is the most exciting thing at the moment. Well,
I mean, how do you? The first thing that goes in your budget when you're trying to save money is probably your BT Sport or that type of thing, isn't it? It's probably the disposable thing to most people. When everyone's thinking about food and bills and all that type of stuff, it becomes. You just don't think about it, do you? Really?
Not
so it's mad. I just can't believe how it's like it's not just like I've never seen things shut down. That's what my thing is. Like I've never seen like the things closed or things like Monday morning you wake up and you think, where am I going to go today, or I'm going to get this or do that, and there's literally nothing. You can't even think. There's not one thing that you can think of kind of normal, which is crazy. So I mean, I'm thinking next week be at the house doing stuff, but it's not like doing a house in normal times. Like you're having to spray it around trying to get supplies and that.
Yeah, it's not like you're not bulk buying from suppliers and whatnot, and everything's going to turn up Monday morning. You just crack on.
Yeah, it's mad, but trying to think what fights have we managed to big fights have we managed to squeeze in so far this year? What have we had in 2020?
We had Romero Adesanya. That didn't go to plan.
No,
obviously, Conor McGregor coming back in January.
Yeah.
So that was only 2 and a bit months ago. Conor McGregor thought.
That's nuts, isn't it? Yeah. That's it. So we've got a few good fights in. We'll have to get that Khabib Tony fight out of the way before the end of the year sometime.
It's been booked 5 times and not happened 5 times.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think is the other 4 times being because of injuries?
I think 2 because of injuries, maybe 3. Tony tripped over that wire, didn't he, 2 years ago? Yeah. And weight cutting issue, I believe, for Khabib. So it's crazy reasons why it's not worked out.
Yeah, I think those 2 are so on the edge in terms of how, especially Tony lives his life. He's a bit crazy. Khabib's just a big guy for the weight. Just live it like on the fine line of like perfection, I suppose, in a way. So it can quickly slip and then fight comes off. So I suppose, but nobody could have accounted for this, could they? What's put this back?
Definitely not.
So it's mad. But then you got didn't get really any boxing. Not much boxing this year apart from Tyson Fury.
Yeah, that was only a month and a half ago. It's crazy how much time's gone by. But
yeah, that was big. But usually I think like Sky Sports boxing schedule kicks off around March, and then it just keeps going and going and going, doesn't it?
Well, I know Joshua and Pulev was happening in June, and that's been postponed now. So that says a lot. That does say a lot.
Yeah, that's it. You just can't, for a fight that big, you need months of planning, don't you? And they can't obviously plan when it's like this. You need is that going to be at Tottenham as well, that one?
Yes, so it's like 60,000 people there as well, if they set the crowd there.
Yeah, I don't. It's quite a lot of good fights to look forward to. You had Dillian White as well. That one's gone.
Probably Tyson, Fury, and Wilder trilogy is probably going to happen at some point this year as well.
Yeah, you'd imagine. Sure. It depends. They were saying there's some wiggle room as well for if Joshua and Fury were to fight. If both sides, Pulev and Wilder agreed to it, those two could fight before, which would be good. Yeah. I thought that made more sense for Wilder anyway, just to take a bit of time off and let them two fight, because he's always going to have a big payday in the future, isn't he?
Definitely. That Joshua fight is still there for him anyway, despite him losing.
People don't care at heavyweights. No, they don't care whether you lose as such. Like because everyone expects everyone to get knocked out. I think people just accept you win some, you lose some with the big guys. Any of them could have got back in together.
Yeah, that is the interesting aspect between boxing and mixed martial arts, because obviously boxing fans, you seem to see them lose one or two fights and the fan base almost turns on them immediately.
Yeah.
Whereas in mixed martial arts, you can lose 2 or 3 and still have that fan base with you.
Yeah, and you become a bigger star almost, don't you? I think what it is, it's like I think it's the style thing. People really like a certain style in MMA because there's so much variety. Mm-hmm. People just love like that type of fighter or that person. Or whereas in boxing, I suppose there's only so much variation you can have because it's you've only got the hands to use. So I think like in MMA, people, like I say, just love. You have a Conor style, you had Nate's style, John Jones, Cormier. There's just Khabib, yeah. Some people hate that though. Some people.
You see a lot of boring comments down, and you get to see great all times at the same time.
Yeah, I think he'd actually. I think he could probably put more people away, but I think his style he's so drilled to just maul people and just tap away and just bully them for the rounds. But if he really started putting his punches together, flying them in on the ground instead of just tapping them in, probably don't feel like he's just tapping though when he's on top of you.
No, probably not.
But no, it's probably just a big shots all the time. But yeah, he's so controlled, isn't he? So I suppose that's not necessarily a fan's favorite. He's like a martial arts fan. Martial arts fans probably will like Khabib.
Yeah, because he is methodical in what he does, and he's an absolute monster at what he does as well.
Yeah, it's mad though. Like some people, it depends. Like I've won boring before. I've finished people quick. I've done that type of stuff. But I think like to you, it's winning is key. Yeah. Because if you lose, especially early on, people just write you off, I suppose, don't they? And you need, if you keep winning and if you hopefully do it with some style, then you're going to go far. But if you're, let's say, if Khabib was losing and fighting with that style, nobody would even want to know who he is. Like Conor, though, he could lose a few, and because he's exciting, he finishes people. Mm-hmm. I suppose it's a bit different, isn't it?
Well, there isn't many that have been dominated by Khabib. McGregor got dominated by Khabib at the end of the day, and he's still got that star power. There's not many that Khabib has faced that have lost like that and still hold their name or hold such a status in the UFC or in MMA as a whole.
It is that star power is powerful though. Like I suppose he's done it for himself, and he's earned everything that he's got. You've got to like take your hat off to people like that. I don't know how they do it, but they're just they work miracles, don't they? The amount of money they can generate. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's mad. It's like a lot of guys, you see them. You see like what they've earned from purses throughout their career. It's not very much, but they've been in wars and they've proper like killed themselves for the sport. And you get some guys who just fly through it. Mm-hmm. They've earned $10 million before they've at the third fight in the UFC or whatever it is, and you think, good on you.
Yeah, getting straight into those pay-per-view fights. That's when you have 2 or 3 on the sort of almost like the fight nights and the prelims, then you're straight into the pay-per-views. Yeah,
that's it. They've cracked it, haven't they? Them guys. They've cracked it.
Definitely, and McGregor, he's had 2 losses in the UFC, but he's not taken too much damage either. So it's not like he's had these fights and taken a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think that'd be my type of thing as well. Just be done. I mean, I don't think about damage. Like when I turn up to train, I'm not thinking, "Oh, you're damaging your head today." It just don't even cross my mind. It's not. If you just don't be in there if you don't want to get hit or hurt. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be. Like I say again, I take my hat off to guys who have them like say 10 and 10 careers or 15 and 15, like 50-50 ones, and you think, how have you done what you've done? It is impressive. Because
that's true.
Imagine losing 15 times and then going again and winning, especially at a decent level. Like fair play to them guys.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen in boxing. You couldn't have someone with a 10 and 10 record in boxing. They'd be done by the time they lost 2 or 3.
Yeah. I think like your brain would be damaged that badly though, at that point. It's just probably best stay away. Yeah, I always think like the British challenger level boxing, they always, like somebody who's not quite world class, they always take the biggest beatings because they're in competitive fights. They're doing all right, but they just take so much stick from the higher class boxer over 12 rounds. You can't stay around, I suppose, can you, if you're getting it? And they don't get paid enough either.
True.
Like, I hear some of them guys speaking to a boxer like a few months ago, and he was saying he earned £50,000 in his biggest European title fight, and that's obviously it's a bit, and he's big names as well. That it's not like, I mean, it sounds good money, but when you think of what they've put into the sport, it's not great, is it?
Say a 10, 15, even 20-year career, and you go through those fight camps.
It's not. No, it's getting better now. Though. I think in fighting sports, everyone's generally the best have always been paid well. Like the top 5 have always been paid very well. But it's just everyone else is now starting to get a bit more. But I suppose it's there. I often don't think it's nothing the sport can do as such. It's for fighters to actually go out there and earn it. You've got to engage with fans, and if you bring, like Ronda said it years ago, she was like, I think they said, do you reckon women will be paid as much as men in this sport? And she was like, well, if you bring as much revenue as me and you do. I think it was something like that she said in a thing. But I think it's the same for not just girls, it's the same for boys as well. You've got to bring in revenue, haven't you? Go out there and do it.
Yeah, it is. It's a very individualistic sport, despite you having your own team sort of thing, and you've got everyone around you. All eyes are on you once you step into that cage, and all eyes are on you outside the cage when cameras are rolling, etc. So it is down to the athlete as well. But I also think where we've got so many organisations now, and they're all on good platforms. Obviously you've got PFL and ESPN, you've got Bellator on the rise, and obviously Cage Warriors is on UFC Fight Pass. So you have got a lot of eyes and a lot of ways to be seen as well. Yeah,
and that's what is happening in boxing recently. You've got
I think DAZN came into boxing and just shook it up massively. And then you had like all the other big like Top Rank and all that had to compete with DAZN's pay. So everyone got paid more. It's been like 2 years now of just crazy money. And I think all fighters are just I think Eddie Hearn was saying about it's like people are getting paid £20 million to fight in a fight that shouldn't be. It's nowhere near close to that value. It shouldn't be. They shouldn't be getting paid. It's probably not generating that money, but everyone's having to throw it around.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, probably MMA's probably got that with like PFL and stuff. They've all got to compete, haven't they, and give fighters what they deserve.
Yeah, there's a lot more paths now. It's not just the one route where. But in yesteryear, UFC would be coming, right, we've got, say, 10 and 10 for you, and that's the best you're going to get. But
now you'd sign for people would sign for PFL, wouldn't they, or something like that?
Yeah.
Do you reckon you can actually go from PFL to the UFC?
I think so, but at the same time, if I'm a fighter, if you're telling me I can earn $1 million year in, year out in a season, that probably is more lucrative than trying to transfer over to UFC. Yeah,
that's true, yeah. But I think it's still that, regardless of how good your career is in football, you want to fight, you want to play in the Premier League. Maybe it's still like that at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, UFC is still a brand. You probably get it all the time with kids coming up saying, "Oh, I want to be a UFC fighter, or I want to be this or that."
Yeah, I think it's true. It's like I dream of being a UFC fighter. That's what I aim for. I mean, it could get to the point where people where PFL or something like that becomes a La Liga type, or
Serie A, or something like that.
Yeah, like a compete where like my mates know they know the UFC, but they probably don't even know the PFL exists. You know, my non-martial art mates, so I mean, as soon as they start talking about something, I know that it's going to make money. It's the same with fights. If they ask me about a Conor fight or something, I know for a fact it's going to be a huge grossing fight, because if they're interested, everyone's going to be interested.
Yeah, I think it's weird. That's like 60-70% of the market, I think. The casual side.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not many. We're big MMA fans and martial arts fans, but there's not many people like that. Like it is a niche type thing where people are sitting up until like 5 a.m. to watch something. It seems a bit silly, doesn't it, when you think of it? But there's definitely not too many of us.
No, and there's not many sports that are like mixed martial arts or combat sports in general. There's not that many where you have so many different outcomes.
That's true. Yeah, it's there is so many variables in a fight, and like if you had 5 top guys in lightweight, for instance, in the UFC, if apart from Khabib maybe, but if you fought them all off against each other,
they'd all lose one, at least.
Yeah. But Khabib, you don't know really. He could just beat them all. He could do.
Tony Ferguson's the only outlier at the moment, the only question mark. But
that's it. I think, he's. I mean, if you were a pure betting man, and you looked at the past, you'd back Khabib, I suppose, wouldn't you? But I think as an MMA person, you're thinking Tony does have a chance because of this, and this. But most people think most people don't think like that, do they? I suppose.
No, and it's weird. That's such a big fight for the hardcore side. It depends. I wonder how that translates to the casuals as well, because they're not.
Probably not. I mean, I've not heard. The only people I've heard speaking about it are MMA people again. It's mad.
It's ridiculous. You've got a 28-0 guy, never been defeated before. He's at the top of the game. We've got Tony Ferguson, who's crazy as well. He brings a lot of eyes towards him, but it just doesn't translate as well.
No, I think what it is that you've actually got to be able to speak to people, actually engage with them, and become relatable. Where Khabib probably comes across, maybe because of his English. He's got better English than I have Russian, so it's not a snipe at him.
No.
But he's it's difficult to get the Americans into it when they can't relate to you.
I mean, it's funny hearing stories about wrestling bears and stuff, but most people from Manchester or whatever can't relate to that, can they?
No.
They're not talking to somebody who they they're not. It's not engaging, is it, for most casuals?
No.
And Tony doing backflips and kicking palm trees in half, it's probably a bit like it's people. It's funny.
It's almost a bit. People watching it probably going, "That's a bit too far."
That's it, yeah. But Conor can kind of do what he wants now, can't he? If he for PR, I think it is. What if he does something? As long as people are watching it, it's beneficial to him.
You just go, "Oh, it's just Conor McGregor."
Yeah. He gets it's almost an excuse for acting a certain way and acting bad. But yeah, I mean, imagine being that guy who could just generate people speaking about you, millions of eyes just from doing one thing.
Well, I don't know what the record is, but obviously he's had 3 main events at non-title bouts now, which the UFC rarely do a non-title bout as a main event, and he's had 3 of them.
Yeah, that's another different thing to like you're saying, different thing to boxing. You generally, other than Dillian White, I think is probably the only person who's done pay-per-view for a non-world title fight. And he's a big name because he's a big character in it. But not many people can do that. So it's impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's it's cool.
I wonder what the are a lot of people even now, are people willing to spend money on a pay-per-view? Say there was a pay-per-view tonight. Are people going to be willing to put 20 quid into a pay-per-view when they're thinking about they're losing the job or whatever?
That's also the case, isn't it? Even if this event did want to go happen at 2:49, they said this is a pay-per-view. Obviously, in the States, they pay like $60-$70 for their pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're fortunate with BT, although it's still a monthly subscription. It's like, how many people are you going to get to turn around? It could either go one way or the other, I reckon. Either no one does it, or you'd probably get the highest pay-per-view of all time. That's
it. Yeah, I think it's probably a benefit to people being sat at home. But then another one is like sponsors. Like, are people spending so that are the sponsors going to be wanting to put millions into a promotion banner if that company's rolling back productions or rolling back staff? You can't go into an Adidas store, Reebok store to buy things. You can't go into it, or
no.
I just wonder how it even would look if they were able to fight.
And it's pretty risky for them because even they're on a yes or no basis in terms of the event happening. So they can't be like, okay, we'll spend 3 weeks worth of advertisement just for the event not to happen. So they're probably everyone's in the same situation.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's not just the UFC. It's got all these things. You got medical staff. You got so much going into it. And the sponsors, commercial partners, they play a bigger part, obviously, because it's how the event's funded. So it's mad. It's like TV at the minute. I wonder what. There's only probably some companies who will benefit from the marketing on there at the minute.
Well, I think Netflix have, and probably Amazon Prime. Amazon probably doing incredibly well at the moment. But Netflix
their Prime's not even necessarily like next day at the minute, is it? Because it's that busy. I think they've had to try and get that many more drivers on. I had a few things delivered the other day to the house, and it was like the people who've never done delivery driving ever in their life. It's their first job. Everyone's taking up new careers. Mad.
Yeah, that is crazy. But yeah, hopefully everything will be back to normal soon, and we'll be talking about fights again.
That's it. Yeah, that's probably what I'm excited for. Just to chat about normal stuff, have a laugh at the gym with the lads. So
when you get that email or text going, you've got this date ready, get prepared.
That's it. I just want to be able to just walk into the gym and start training. That'd just be a good day. I know we're on the way back then, It's a big thing for me though. Is like I just want to, although it'll get back to normal in that terms of that, you just wonder what state the economy and all that type of stuff's going to be, and how people are going to be willing to spend money to come watch fights. That's it. It's just, it could go on for a lot longer than everything. It could just be such a mess.
You'll probably see a surge in streaming platforms rather than maybe general ticket sales, perhaps. But obviously, it depends if the government's saying only 500 people can turn up to this event or X amount, then you'll probably see your streaming numbers will go higher anyway.
You've just got to wonder how many companies that would work for. Like, would it work for Cage Warriors to do that? Where the UFC could probably, bet their business is still profitable without a ticket yet. I bet it is, which is it's different to most companies, most fight promotions. You just got to hope people say, like, gyms as well. So I bet some are still paying rent, and they're not making loads of money before they were going down. And you got to think, are they going to be able to come back?
Yeah, that's probably, obviously there's no classes there, and there's still probably owners of that building being like, I don't know. I guess this first month perhaps could be a little bit more lenient, but there's still people waiting to be paid for their rent and whatnot.
I think everything's like that, and it just being. I suppose you got to be as good as you can to and forgiving to people around you, haven't you? And if you can help,
Anyway, you can
do it. Yeah, anyway, but it's I just can't wait for it just to get back to normal in general. I've been just missing lifting weights, missing going sparring, hitting pads. Yeah, just talking about how to win fights and talking about styles, talking about who you're fighting, people asking you who you're fighting, asking you about it, or just generally just good conversation like that. Not instead of it's like usual jokes. What have you done today then? And it's just nothing. It's like asking an real elderly relative what they've been up to today. Mostly they've not done much. So it's not a question you usually ask. So I'm not asking people what they've been up to now.
And that's 2 weeks in. So 3 or 4 weeks down the line, you're gonna want to like being asked what have you done this week is the worst question probably to ask anyone in about 3 weeks' time. Yeah,
I am a bit weird though. Like I can always draw positives. There's always something that I'm thinking. I think you, like we said at the start, it's something everyone's trying to do, but as you were. Yes. Yeah, so we just got, like I said, just got to keep positive. If everyone's a bit more positive and unrealistic, I suppose it'll become kind of more realistic in the end. Yeah, I think that is probably. I reckon maybe fighters probably do have the best mindset at the moment, because that is your mindset in terms of you're always looking at the strengths and your positives rather than having a negative mindset. I think that's probably where martial arts probably benefits most. I was preparing for hopefully a kickboxing grading, which would have happened Tuesday just gone, but our gym closed 2 weeks beforehand, so we'd all prepared, but unfortunately we haven't been able to do it just yet. That's it. I think as well, fighters, if you try and make this something you do as a living, you're always looking at ways of how to make things work. How can you pay your bills and turn up to training at 10 a.m. and in the evening? You've got to think. I suppose just thinking outside of the box and doing things with a bit of energy as well. And I think so that would probably set up in a better way to handle it as a fighter. I guess on the flip side, you're probably where you're doing maybe 2-3 sessions a day, 5 days a week. Now you're doing nothing. On the flip side of that, you're probably wondering, your mind's always ticking onto the next thing. Yeah, that's it. I'm always looking at different things to do, and I just set up a business as well just before, or literally just before this started, and it was all this started going on just after my fight. It was like the start of it, and it was all going well. And I had like a week of yes, this is good, and then all this happened, and it was like, oh, this isn't good.
I was just thinking, this will be fine. We'll get through it. If we make it through these times, we can make it through any. And then you're like, oh no, it's not good. It's not going to be one of them.
No,
it's a bit beyond that. But yeah, it's mad. Like, I know loads of people being laid off as well, and obviously they're a bit they're in a worse position, aren't they, as well? I suppose used to that salary, and now they've got nothing.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
But,
That's it. That's what. If you keep saying that, I suppose it is true though. Like, people are in much worse positions.
You're being asked to sit at home and work from home for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think my sister works for like a big corporation, and she's probably in the safest job out of anyone in the family. Where like me, like mum and dad and stuff do like more self-employed type things, and you're a bit on the edge. So I think we're looking at her a bit jealous at the minute. I just wishing we had a bit of that working from home on your laptop. I think that'd be a good environment for everyone. Wants a bit of that.
Definitely. And, the amount of times you've probably heard, I could do with a holiday, I could do with a break for the last 3 months. And now everyone's got it, and everyone doesn't know what to do with it. Yeah.
I think I always make out trying. It's a bit like cringe or a bit cliche, but try and make your life good enough so you don't necessarily need a holiday. Kind of when you go on one, it's just nice. So I just generally I really enjoy like my normal life. So I'm not, so I don't ever think that I want to break from it. I just want to get back to it. So it's crazy, I suppose. A bit weird. I'm at Christmas thinking I want that routine back, that routine of training and things. It's where most people are. No, I've got work on the 2nd of January. It's not really the same for me.
No, I guess, Have you had many fights around Christmas time, or have you had many fights?
I think latest is probably like November. I think it might have November before, but kind of usually now. My fights have been, even as an amateur, because last Cage Warriors I think was in October, late October. I had one mid-October in Birmingham, and that Cage Warriors card last year. So then, you basically have 2 or 3 months of just looking for things to do, just training, and you're not really focused on fighting. So just looking for things to do. Always coming up with different ideas what you're going to do and trying to do it. So I'm probably a bit more used to this type of thing than anyone else.
Definitely. I think, that next fight camp's going to be probably one of the best ones.
Oh, 100%. I'll have that much energy. It'd be so much fun. I think depends who handles it better though. Like we were saying, if you I just want to get back, just consistent again. If I get back, as long as I'm consistent, getting my jiu-jitsu, MMA classes, all that, I'll feel good. It's just that consistency, which is key. As soon as you get back at it, though, it kind of just keeps flowing. But I think a lot of people overdo it when they come back because I think they have to make up time. Yeah,
you've missed 12 weeks, so you have to do 12 weeks in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, extra or whatever, but just kind of relax and just kind of get back enjoying yourself again, which will be the fun thing, I suppose. It'll be just getting back doing martial arts.
I can't wait. Obviously, I've not fought or anything. I'm only at still quite a low level. But it's like I was doing 3 sessions a week up until 2 weeks ago, and it was only in a university hall and like a school hall. It's I can't wait to get back in there. It's like
just doing general training. It's like you got to think as well. People can't wait to get back to their like spinning class or something. That's probably a lot of people's social life in it. So it'd be like, they're missing that general routine.
Yeah, I think the public gyms, it'd be interesting because obviously everyone's going to want to go in there immediately. it'd be interesting to see what the trend is like after a month. If it's going to be like that post-Christmas period where everyone signs up to the gym, and how that probably reflects after a month.
I think, that's it. And a lot of people have been saying, I bet this is a good thing for the country. People will come back better people after this. I think that'll be very, very short-lived. I think people, we have hopes and aspirations that everyone's going to be such a nicer person after it and appreciative and all that stuff. But give people like 2 or 3 days and they'll just be back at it. Yeah, definitely.
I was speaking to Brendan earlier. I was saying, obviously, with all this, with the NHS getting claps every week, and a lot of our key workers are getting a lot of praise and a lot of them plaudits, and deservedly so. But it'd be interesting to see once things go back to normal, do those plaudits continue, or is there just a drop off and everything's back to normal?
It's true. It's I think people are always generally appreciative of people like doing good work and all that type of stuff, but I think people get, I don't know, it's probably just I think things probably are a bit not easy, but there's I don't know. Yeah, it's a good point. People, I do like but it's what you class as a key worker as well. Because you got I think delivery drivers going out and doing things like you're looking at them, or I looked at somebody sat in at the checkout in Aldi the other day, and I was thinking that is a key worker. It has to be. So you're looking at them people, you're thinking, if it's that dangerous and this thing's that dangerous, then you got and your boss is saying come into work and sit on a checkout for hundreds of people to walk past you and touch your hand maybe or whatever. It's crazy. Is that? Yeah, it's mad. Like I think there's so many people who just keeping the economy going as well. Everyone's a key worker, aren't they? Just keeping it going. As long as like I say, as long as people come back and they're not as bad as they were, as generally rude, pushing past you. I think living in a city as well, you always people are just moving so fast paced, aren't they? That they probably forget manners and forget everything else around them. So it's maybe not their fault. They're just so busy.
Yeah, to be fair, the 2 times I've gone shopping post-lockdown, it's never been easier to shop. It's like you're going in, obviously we're queuing up for a little bit, which is only about 5-10 minutes at a time. But once you go in there, it's not very busy in there, so it's quickly just get what you want and go. So you probably spend less time shopping than you normally do. Yes,
no, it's true. It's the and as well, like people initially was complaining about what they couldn't get, but there's always some in the UK. There's always something you can eat on the shelves. Although you might not be able to get your specific flavour of something that you really like. You'll get something. You'll be able to get something. Maybe it forces people to try new things as well.
Like I was saying, it's lost in terms of like basic skills like cooking and actually building a meal from scratch or whatnot. There's a lot of people that are probably struggling at the moment or learning to bake and cook and things.
Yeah, it's not actually that difficult, really, is it? So once you get, people might actually, that might be a skill learned. Different. Does make me laugh though that the pastas, people must not have eaten as much pasta in their entire life, or it's in the cupboards, pouring out the cupboards, or they've.
Yeah, I don't understand the bulk buying or the panic buying.
Milk as well. Like I swear, there'll be as much milk being produced and delivered right now as there was.
It's only a 2-3 week lifespan anyway.
Yeah. So people must be
that much.
No, there must be though. Like some of the, especially I think skim milk in Manchester is just it's lucrative. I think like if you see it, people must just be hoarding like 10 bottles of it and freezing it.
I don't. We're gonna look back at this time in a year or two and just think what were we doing, or there's gonna be 2 outcomes to this probably. People who have panic buyed will be looking at themselves going, there was no need to do that, and then there's the people on the other side that probably learned a new language or 2 and bought new skills. So you've got there's like
I think there's probably still like there's still a mixed reaction. I think like there's a lot of positive reaction to what's going on, but there's a mix as well. You've got a lot of people questioning what's going on. I suppose that like British rebellious side, probably a bit like me, about questioning whether this is right or whatever. But like I say, regardless where you fall down on it, people are still pulling together pretty well.
Yeah, it's ironic considering we're isolating.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's probably because we don't have to spend a lot of time around each other. Really, people.
Not as many influences.
Perhaps. People are better when you don't see them very often. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
That like people more.
Definitely. Have you got anything planned for the rest of your Saturday night?
Probably. I think I'm gonna go. What time are we on? I've got 45 minutes to get to the shops because I'm going late at night because it's really quiet. People, I won't go at lunchtime. I saw a queue outside. There was honestly, it must have been 400 meters long. It was going all the way around back to Sainsbury's. So I thought I'm going to save it for the evening. So probably just do that. Try and get as much pasta and milk as I can.
And toilet rolls.
Toilet roll. 100% toilet rolls. Might do a workout as well. I see a lot of guys doing some mad workouts. I've just seen my coach Matt's join the.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, so I was thinking he's been doing some mint workouts, so I might try and do one.
Yeah. Reminds me, I've just been tagged in something by my instructor as well. I just remember I have to got to do that now, probably.
You've got to do it, yes. I think if he leads and he's doing it, then I'll have to try it. Yeah, you can't be lazier than your coach. You can't do less work than your coach.
No,
so I'll try to do something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But my weight's mint though. Like first time I've checked my weight today. So I am eating healthy. I'm obviously doing a lot of work, keeping Jeremy active. I was a bit shocked. I was a bit happy. Not happy. I was a bit unhappy about how light I was. I wanted to be a lot heavier. I wanted to have like a bit of a Christmas chub.
You kind of have a reason to at the moment as well.
That's it. Yeah. If any time you want to be fat, this is the time.
Definitely.
So maybe tonight's a bit of a workout. Go at the shops and then bulk up a little bit.
Definitely, it sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and do a bit more on the guitar. See what I can get. I've done 2 days at the moment, maybe in half an hour here and there. It's coming along right. We'll see where we are in a month's time. I don't know.
Well, we've got a fair while to practice, so just keep going.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's been good to chat to you anyway.
Definitely. Hopefully next time it'll be in the studio or at least at SVG and it'll be under better circumstances.
Yeah, get me into the studio. We'll have way more to talk about anyway than
definitely
this COVID-19.
Yeah,
what was Brendan up to? What was Brendan up to? I didn't see it. What's he been doing?
He's over in Thailand at the moment. He's living the dream over there, by the sound
Are they in lockdown?
I don't think so. I think their gyms are just closed. So they're doing a lot of home workouts now. So I think their gyms were closed within the last week. They seem to be like maybe a week and a half behind us in terms of schedule.
But it's good weather and everything, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's got like he was saying, he's got a pool in his garden. He's got all the sort of things that you need, and he's got great weather over there as well.
Fair play. Maybe we should have all gone to Thailand just before. If we could have preempted it, I'd be there as well.
Well, he said he's been in there 6 weeks at the moment, so he literally just missed that curve in terms of everything being locked down.
Nice. Yeah, well, he's not done bad. Well, anyway, at least he's having fun.
Yeah. Someone has to, don't they?
That's it, yeah. Well, there has to be a few countries out there that are still pretty open, so if anyone can message in and let us know where we should be going to, because it'd be a lot better than this. Definitely.
I think, you said it would be a huge boost in tourism when everything gets opened back up. And
the British seaside will be they'll be rammed, won't
they? Yeah, absolutely packed.
Yeah. Anyway, chat to you later, man. It's been good.
No worries. Speak to you soon.